Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will either shake you awake or let you continue sleeping through your life. Right now, at this very second, you are deciding whether you are going to take control or keep letting life happen to you. Every choice you make, every action you avoid, every second you waste is shaping your future, whether you like it or not. The world is moving fast, opportunity is fleeting, and success does not wait for the hesitant. You can sit there comfortable in your excuses, hoping that luck, motivation, or someone else's approval will push you forward. Or you can stand up, take ownership, and realize that the only person responsible for your future is you. Not your family, not your friends, not your boss, not society, no one. The power is in your hands, and every moment you delay is a moment that your dreams slip further away. I'm not here to give you inspiration that fades in 5 minutes. I'm here to challenge your mindset, to make you uncomfortable, to make you face the truth you've been avoiding for too long. You've been waiting for permission, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready. Newsflash, perfect time doesn't exist. Waiting is a trap. Hesitation is a prison. Every second you postpone action is a second someone else is taking what could have been yours. Success, growth, and mastery are not awarded to dreamers. They are claimed by the relentless, the disciplined, the people who refuse to let fear, failure, or comfort dictate their destiny. If you want to create your future, if you want to live a life that matters, you must decide right now that you are not going to wait. You must commit that you will act, you will grind, you will rise, and you will refuse to settle for anything less than what you are capable of achieving. And I promise you this, the path will not be easy. Growth will hurt. Discipline will challenge you. Failure will try to break you. Comfort will whisper lies that make you stay stagnant. But every struggle you face, every obstacle you overcome, every uncomfortable moment you embrace is building the you that will create a future no one else can touch. You have the mind, the heart, and the potential, but potential alone is worthless unless you act on it. You must awaken your psyche, ignite your willpower, and demand more from yourself than the world demands of you. Today, everything changes. Today, excuses die. Today, hesitation ends. Today, you start thinking like someone who makes their own future, someone who commands their life, someone who refuses to allow circumstances, comfort, or fear to decide what is possible. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to believe in yourself, to open your mind, to accept the challenge, and to commit with everything you have, because your future is waiting, and it is not waiting politely. It is waiting for the person brave enough, bold enough, and relentless enough to seize it. Now lean in, focus, and prepare yourself, because the journey to creating your own future starts right here, right now. Radical responsibility is not a phrase you hear every day, because it is not easy and it is not comfortable. Most people drift through life, pointing fingers at everyone else, blaming circumstances, society, the system, their parents, their bosses, their lack of luck, or the opportunities they believe were denied to them. They wake up each day waiting for something external to save them, waiting for someone else to push them, waiting for a break, a handout, a miracle. But here is the truth. Your future does not come from luck. Your future does not come from other people's kindness or from the universe conspiring in your favor. Your future comes from you and you alone. To take radical responsibility is to stop looking outward for answers and start looking inward for power. It is to stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as a creator of your destiny. Every decision, every action, every habit, every thought, and every refusal to act has consequences. And those consequences are what shape the trajectory of your life. If you want to make your own future, you have to realize that no one is going to do it for you. No one is going to hand it to you wrapped in a bow. No one is going to carry you to success on their shoulders. The moment you understand this, the moment you accept this, you begin to see the freedom in responsibility. Freedom is not being given choices. Freedom is having the power to take full control of the choices you already have. Radical responsibility begins with honesty, brutal honesty. You have to look in the mirror and see yourself without excuses, without justification, without softening the truth. Where are you right now in life? Why are you here? What decisions, what patterns, what compromises, what habits brought you to this point? And then you have to ask yourself the harder question, what are you willing to do to change it? Most people avoid this question because it is painful. It forces you to confront the fact that you are in some way responsible for your current situation. But this is not shame. This is power. When you accept that you are responsible for the outcome of your life, you are Eli's, that you are also responsible for changing it. You are no longer a pawn in someone else's game. You are the master of your own board. This is what it means to take radical responsibility, not just acknowledging your mistakes, not just feeling guilty, but taking ownership of every single element of your life and deciding that no longer will you allow excuses to dictate your path. Every great success story begins with someone who decided to stop blaming the world and start blaming themselves. Not blaming themselves in a negative self-loathing way, but blaming themselves in a proactive way, holding themselves in a proactive way, holding themselves accountable, refusing to make excuses and refusing to outsource their life to anyone else. Think about it. How many people talk about the lack of opportunity? How many people complain that life is unfair? The reality is life has never been fair and it never will be. Waiting for fairness is waiting for failure. The people who build their own future, the people who rise above, do not wait for fairness. They create opportunities where none exist. They do not demand that circumstances bend to their favor. They bend themselves to circumstances until they are stronger, smarter, and faster than the challenge. They know that responsibility is not a burden. It is a weapon. It is the tool that allows them to carve a path through chaos, to convert setbacks into stepping stones, to turn obstacles into fuel for relentless forward motion. Radical responsibility also requires consistency. It is not a one-time decision or a momentary burst of courage. It is a daily, relentless, unyielding commitment to yourself. Every morning you wake up, you must remind yourself that your choices, your habits, your words, your discipline, or lack thereof, determine where you are headed. If you sis at that leptin when you should have trained, if you ate when you should have fasted, if you complained when you should have acted, if you scrolled when you should have studied, every small decision is compounding over time, building or destroying the life you're capable of having. Taking responsibility is acknowledging that it is not the big dramatic moments that define your life, but the small, consistent decisions you make day in and day out. You do not wait for inspiration. You wait for accountability. You do not wait for others to push you. You push yourself relentlessly. And the more you push yourself, the more you realize that every excuse you used to believe was real. Every limitation you allowed to cage you was simply a story you told yourself to avoid the work you feared. Another essential element of radical responsibility is refusing to play the victim in your mind. Life will test you. Life will challenge you. Life will punish you in ways that feel cruel, unjust, and impossible. People will betray you. Circumstances will collapse around you. Opportunities will vanish. But radical responsibility is the mindset that no matter what happens, you will own your reaction. You will own the choices you make when the world tries to break you. You cannot control the storm, but you can control the way you navigate through it. To make your own future, you must realize that blaming the storm, blaming the weather, blaming the people around you only gives away your power. You cannot control the world. You can only control yourself. And once you take responsibility for yourself, for your mind, for your actions, for your work, for your discipline, and for your vision, you step into a place where you are unstoppable because now the future is not an abstract dream. It is your mission. Responsibility also demands courage because owning your life means admitting your weaknesses, facing your fears, and confronting the parts of yourself you have ignored for too long. It means acknowledging where you have fallen short and then deciding you will no longer fall short. It is easier to blame others, to complain, to justify, to avoid, but this is a trap. Courage is required to accept that your life in its entirety is in your hands. There is no magic. There is no secret formula. There is only you acting every day, refusing to let life happen to you, refusing to wait, refusing to fold, refusing to give excuses the power to dictate your future. This courage is what separates ordinary people from those who make their own destiny. The ordinary wait for life to give them something. The extraordinary take it. The ordinary blame others when they fail. The extraordinary say, I am responsible. I will rise. I will act. I will conquer. I will build my own future. Taking radical responsibility is not a burden. It is the ultimate liberation. It is freedom because once you accept That your life is in your hands once you accept that no one else is coming to save you. Once you accept that excuses have no power over a person who refuses to let them, you begin to realize that you are stronger than your circumstances, smarter than your doubts, and more powerful than your fears. You realize that the key to your future is not hidden in someone else's approval, not in luck, not in timing, not in chance. It is in you. Every action you take today shapes the life you will live tomorrow. Every decision to stop blaming, every choice to step forward, every moment you commit to mastery, every time you refuse to fold under pressure, you are building a future that cannot be stolen, borrowed, or given away, because it is yours, forged by your hands, your courage, your discipline, and your relentless refusal to let anyone else control your destiny. Radical responsibility is the first step towards self-mastery. It is the first step toward breaking free from mediocrity. It is the first step toward building a life that is intentionally designed, fiercely pursued, and unshakably earned. It is the step that transforms you from a passenger into a pilot, from a victim into a creator, from someone waiting for life to happen to someone who makes life happen. If you want to make your own future, you must take this step. You must stare down your excuses. You must stop blaming. You must refuse to be a passenger in your own life. You must take radical responsibility every single day, in every single decision, in every single decision, in every single thought, in every single action. Because the moment you do, the moment you embrace this principle fully, is the moment you stop waiting and start building. The moment you stop reacting and start creating. The moment you stop existing and start living on your own terms. This is the power of radical responsibility. This is how you claim your future. This is how you make it yours. Vision is not just a word. It is the blueprint of your life, the invisible force that pulls you forward when everything else seems to be falling apart. Without a clear vision, you are like a ship lost at sea, tossed by waves, carried by currents, and at the mercy of the winds. Every decision you make, every opportunity you encounter, every challenge you face requires direction, and that direction comes from a vision that is bigger than yourself. Vision is not something that happens overnight. It is not a fleeting thought, a casual wish, or a vague idea of success. Vision is the fire in your mind that burns so bright you can see the path ahead, even when the world around you is dark, chaotic, and full of distractions. It is the compass that refuses to allow you to drift. When you have a vision, you do not chase every shiny object. You do not get pulled by every trend, and you do not surrender your time and energy to things that do not align with their ultimate purpose. Vision is clarity. Vision is focus. Vision is the unwavering understanding of who you are meant to become and the life you are meant to build. Without it, you will wander, you will get lost, and you will spend years working, struggling, and sacrificing without ever arriving at the destination you secretly dreamed of. Having a vision requires courage because it forces you to look beyond the comfort of today and imagine a life that is bigger, bolder, and more demanding than your current reality. It requires honesty because you have to confront what you truly want, not what others expect of you, not what is safe, not what is convenient, but what truly ignites your soul. Most people never take the time to define their vision because it is easier to drift, to follow, to react than it is to confront the responsibility of designing a life worth living. But the cost of not having a vision is far greater than the effort required to create one. Without a vision, you will live someone else's life, perform someone else's work, chase someone else's dreams, and wake up one day wondering how you ended up in a place you never wanted to be. The power of vision is that it gives you a reason to wake up early, to push through pain, to ignore distractions, to endure struggles, and to keep going when quitting seems so much easier. It becomes the fuel that feeds your persistence, the anchor that steadies you when storms hit, and the light that illuminates the path when the world tries to pull you into mediocrity. Vision also requires specificity. A vague dream will not move mountains. Saying I want to be successful, or I want to be rich, or I want to be happy is not vision. It is wishful thinking. True vision is concrete. It is measurable. It is detailed enough that you can see it, feel it, and almost touch it in your mind before it manifests in your life. It is the ability to describe where you are going in a way that excites you, terrifies you, and challenges you all at once. When your vision is clear, every action you take becomes intentional. Every sacrifice has a purpose. And every decision can be measured against whether it moves you closer to that vision or farther away. Vision acts like a filter, allowing you to ignore distractions, avoid energy draining activities, and say no to things that do not serve your ultimate goal. It is the lens through which you see opportunity, the radar that detects danger, and the compass that guides your journey toward extraordinary achievement. The people who make their own future understand that vision is not just about seeing the destination. It is about creating a magnetic pull that attracts everything necessary to get there. When your vision is strong, your mindset shifts. You start thinking differently. You start acting differently. You begin to notice solutions where others see problems, doors where others see walls, and opportunities where others see obstacles. Your vision becomes so powerful that it shapes your environment. People are drawn to it. Mentors, resources, allies, and even luck begin to align with your trajectory because there is clarity in your intent, and clarity in your intent produces action that cannot be ignored. Vision is not passive, it is aggressive. It demands work, focus, patience, and resilience. It requires that you hold on to it, even when everyone around you doubts it, even when the failure strikes, even when the world says you cannot achieve it. The bigger your vision, the more resistance you will face, and the more you must rely on your inner compass to keep you moving forward. Vision also demands patience and discipline. It is easy to become discouraged when results do not appear immediately. It is easy to lose focus when obstacles pile up, when sacrifices seem endless, when your peers enjoy comfort while you grind. A vision teaches you to trust the process. Vision teaches you that the small, consistent steps you take every day, even when invisible to the world, are compounding in your favor. The person without vision gives up at the first sign of struggle. The person with vision understands that struggles attest the process and the proof that they are on the right path. Vision allows you to see beyond temporary pain, temporary failure, and temporary setbacks, keeping your eyes locked on the ultimate prize. It gives you perspective. It gives you resilience. It gives you the kind of patience that allows you to endure, persist, and ultimately conquer what others thought impossible. A vision also requires imagination, creativity, and belief. It is not enough to have a goal. You must believe that it is achievable, even when the evidence suggests otherwise. You must imagine it vividly, emotionally, and in detail. You must picture not only the destination, but the journey, how it will feel to achieve it, who you will become, and what sacrifices you must make along the way. This is what separates dreamers from doers. Dreamers see it in passing thoughts. You doers build it into their reality with relentless action. Your vision must live inside you so powerfully that it drives you to act even when motivation is gone, when energy is low, and when everyone else is walking away. Your vision becomes your obsession, your compass, and your guiding force. Without it, you'll wander endlessly, wasting time, energy, and potential. Finally, vision is inseparable from action. Seeing the destination is useless if you refuse to move. Vision demands alignment between your thoughts, words, and deeds. Every decision must be measured against whether it takes you closer to your future or pulls you away. Vision requires sacrifice, because the life you are building cannot coexist with laziness, excuses, or short-term comfort. Vision forces you to prioritize, focus, and endure. Vision creates urgency because it reminds you that time is finite, that nothing is guaranteed, and that waiting for permission, waiting for opportunity, or waiting for circumstances to change is a luxury reserved for those who are willing to remain mediocre. If you want to make your own future, vision is the compass that cannot fail you. It is the map that guides you when all else is unclear. It is the reason you wake up when everyone else is sleeping. The reason you grind when everyone else rests. The reason you are lost. Without vision, you are lost. With vision, you are unstoppable. Your vision is your future, waiting for you to claim it, and the clarity of your vision determines the speed, power, and magnitude with which you will create the life you are meant to live. Vision is not optional. It is essential. It is the difference between drifting through life and designing a life that is extraordinary, intentional, and unstoppable. Hold on to it, protect it, chase it, build it. Because the moment you do, the moment you commit fully, the future is no longer something that happens to you. It becomes something you create, shape, and conquer with your own hands, heart, and relentless will. Discipline beats motivation. every single time, because motivation is a fleeting emotion, a spark that comes and goes, a wave that crashes and then recedes, leaving you stranded when you need it the most. Motivation is what makes you feel like moving when you are inspired, when you are excited, when everything in life feels good. But life does not operate on feelings. Life does not wait for your mood to improve or for your inspiration to return. Life throws challenges at you, pain at you, distractions at you, and discipline is the force that allows you to keep moving forward even when motivation is gone. Discipline is not about feeling like doing something. Discipline is about doing it regardless of how you feel, regardless of circumstances, regardless of comfort. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. It is the engine that powers the pursuit of your vision, the daily grind that builds the foundation for success, and the relentless insistence that your future will be crafted by action, not by wishful thinking or fleeting feelings. People who rely on motivation alone are doomed to mediocrity because motivation is conditional. It is triggered by excitement, by inspiration, by the novelty of a dream. But discipline is unconditional. Discipline does not care. If you are tired, discipline does not care. If you are bored, discipline does not care. If life is unfair, discipline keeps moving when the world stands still. Discipline is developed through consistency. It is not something that appears overnight or magically materializes when you suddenly want to succeed. It is built day by day, repetition by repetition, action by action. Every time you do what you are supposed to do, even when you do not want to, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you resist temptation, postpone pleasure, and push through discomfort, you grow a little stronger. This is why discipline is far more powerful than motivation. Motivation is a fire that burns hot but fades, while discipline is the slow, steady forge that shapes steel. Motivation may get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going when the journey becomes grueling, when your body and mind beg you to quit, and when everything in life is telling you to settle. The disciplined person does not wait for energy, inspiration, or desire. They act, and through action, they become unstoppable. Discipline creates momentum, and momentum turns effort into achievement. The difference between those who make their own future and those who drift through life is not talent, luck, or genius. It is discipline. Everyone has the same 24 hours. Everyone experiences fatigue, pain, and frustration. Everyone faces setbacks and obstacles. But the disciplined individual is willing to do what others will not, to endure what others cannot, and to continue what others abandon. Discipline allows you to keep showing up, even when motivation disappears, when fear rises, when uncertainty clouds your path. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. Motivation can be fickle, unreliable, and fleeting. But discipline is steadfast, constant, and eternal. It does not matter how inspired you feel today if tomorrow you refuse to act. Discipline ensures that your dreams are carried forward step by step, day by day, regardless of the emotional weight. Her discipline also requires sacrifice. There is no shortcut to mastery, no easy path to greatness. Every hour spent scrolling, procrastinating, or seeking comfort is an hour lost forever. Discipline means saying no to what is easy, pleasurable, or convenient in favor of what is hard, demanding, and transformative. It is waking up early when your body begs for sleep. It is grinding when your mind whispers excuses. It is choosing long-term gain over short-term satisfaction. The people who shape their own future understand that comfort is the enemy of progress. They know that every moment of discipline compounds, building a future that others will admire, but few will understand the cost of achieving. Discipline is the daily investment you make in yourself, the repeated act of choosing action over inertia, and the refusal to let fleeting emotions dictate your reality. One of the greatest misconceptions in life is believing that motivation alone will carry you to your goals. People say, I just need to feel like doing it, or I'll wait until I'm in the mood. But mood is a luxury that life rarely affords. Challenges, failures, setbacks, and pressure do not wait for you to feel motivated. They strike relentlessly, demanding action, resilience, and persistence. Discipline bridges that gap. Discipline ensures that even when you do not feel like showing up, you show up. Even when you are exhausted, you persist. Even when you are unsure, you act. Discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve, those who talk from those who do, and those who settle from those who conquer. Motivation will leave you stranded in the middle of the storm. Discipline will carry you through. Discipline is also mental toughness. It is the ability to resist instant gratification, endure discomfort, and to delay pleasure for the sake of a greater reward. It is doing the hard thing consistently until it becomes effortless. The disciplined mind knows that success is not built in moments of inspiration, but in the accumulation of small, consistent, disciplined actions repeated over weeks, months, and years. Discipline allows you to master your habits, master your focus, and master your focus, and master yourself. Without it, no amount of motivation can overcome the inertia of mediocrity. Discipline turns strategy into reality because it is through disciplined execution that plans become results, ideas become achievements, and potential become a destiny. Furthermore, discipline is contagious. Contagious. When you operate from a place of discipline, your energy, focus, and consistency influence others. You become someone who others respect, not because of talent alone, but because they see a person who does what must be done, who refuses to quit, and who acts even when it is hard. Discipline builds reputation, credibility, and influence because it is visible in action. People who lack discipline may be louder, more charismatic, or more confident in words, but the disciplined person outlasts, outworks, and outperforms in ways that are undeniable. Discipline is the silent power that shapes character, defines legacy, and creates results that cannot be ignored. Discipline also protects you from yourself. Motivation can deceive you. It can make you believe that you are capable, ready, or prepared when in reality you are not. Discipline does not lie. Discipline is the framework that keeps you accountable to your commitments, ensures that your actions align with your goals, and forces you to confront the truth of your effort. Without discipline, even the most talented, most motivated, or most stay-fortunate individuals will falter. Discipline turns potential into execution, dreams into results, and effort into unstoppable momentum. Finally, discipline is freedom. It may sound paradoxical, but the more disciplined you become, the more control you have over your life. A discipline allows you to rise above impulses, distractions, and chaos. Discipline allows you to define your future rather than be defined by circumstances. Discipline allows you to make choices based on long-term vision rather than short-term comfort. Discipline is the difference between being a passenger in your own life and being the driver, the architect, and the builder of your destiny. Motivation will come and go, but discipline is forever. Discipline is the sword that cuts through excuses, the anchor that holds you steady, and the engine that propels you forward when nothing else will did it. Discipline is what makes your vision tangible. Your dreams are achievable and your future inevitable. If you want to make your own future, you cannot wait for motivation. You must forge discipline, cultivate it, protect it, cultivate, and wield it relentlessly every single day in every single action until your life becomes a testament to what discipline, relentless pursuit of greatness can achieve. Failure is not the enemy. Most people live their lives terrified of it, avoiding it at every turn, running from it as if it were poison. They believe failure defines them, labels them, and traps them in a life of mediocrity. But the truth is the exact opposite. Failure is not a verdict on your worth. It is a lesson. It is information. It is feedback. The people who make their own future, the people who rise above ordinary circumstances, do not fear failure. They study it, dissect it, and use it as a map to their next level. To embrace failure as feedback is to recognize that every mistake, every rejection, every setback, every no, and every collapse is not a signal to quit, but a signal to learn, to adjust, and to advance. The moment you understand this, the moment you shift your mindset, failure stops being an obstacle and starts being a tool. It stops being a punishment. It starts being a guide. It stops being a source of shame and becomes a source of intelligence for building the life you want. Without embracing failure, your growth will be stunted. You will repeat the same patterns, make the same mistakes, and allow fear to dictate your choices. But those who embrace failure are unstoppable because they know that each failure carries a hidden message what works, what doesn't, what you must change, and what you must double down on. Failure teaches lessons that success never can. When everything goes your way, it is easy to believe that you are invincible, that your approach is perfect, that you do not need to adapt or grow. But failure strips away illusions. Failure exposes weakness, reveals gaps in skill, highlights flaws in strategy, and uncovers blind spots in character. Those who shy away from failure never get this insight. Those who embrace it, however, use it as a mirror that shows them exactly where they need to improve, what they need to refine, and how they need to adjust their actions to achieve the results they desire. The smart person does not waste energy complaining about failure, regretting it, or resenting it. The smart person extracts every lesson it offers, catalogs it in the mind, and applies it with precision in the next attempt. In this sense, failure is not the opposite of success. It is the precursor to it. It is the fertilizer for growth, the spark for growth, the spark for innovation, and the teacher for mastery. The people who make their own future understand that failure is inevitable. No matter how talented, how disciplined, or how visionary you are, you will fail. Life will test you. Plans will collapse. Opportunities will slip through your fingers. People will betray you. Circumstances will turn against you. But the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not whether they experience failure. It is what they do after failure hits. You can view failure as a tombstone or a stepping stone. You can let it break you or use it to build you. You can internalize it as a judgment or interpret it as a guide. The choice is yours. And that choice defines the trajectory of your life. Every failure carries information if you are willing to see it. Every rejection, every mistake, every moment of defeat is a lesson disguised in pain. The question is, will you learn it or will you let it crush you? Embracing failure as feedback also requires humility. It requires admitting that you do not know everything, that you are not perfect, and that there is always room for improvement. Pride, ego, and stubbornness are the enemies of growth. When failure comes, your reaction determines whether you will grow stronger or stay trapped in mediocrity. The humble, disciplined person says, what can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? How can I use this setback to get closer to my goal? The arrogant, fearful person says, this is unfair. This is impossible. I am done. One reaction leads to growth. The other leads to stagnation. Feedback from failure is brutally honest. It does not sugarcoat it, does not apologize, and it does not cater to your ego. It demands introspection, adjustment, and relentless action. Those who ignore it, who dismiss it, who fear it, remain trapped in repetition, making the same mistakes over and over. Those who embrace it rise because they understand that mastery is forged in the fire of setbacks, not in the comfort of success. Failure also builds resilience. Every time you fall, every time you get knocked down, every time a plan collapses, your ability to withstand adversity grows if you choose to embrace it. People who fear failure are brittle. The smallest challenge breaks their momentum. People who embrace failure are resilient. Every fall strengthens their core, sharpens their focus, and ignites their determination. They learn that temporary pain is not permanent defeat. They learn that discomfort is a teacher, not a punishment. They learn that success is not the absence of struggle, but the mastery of it. Each failure becomes a layer of armor, each setback a step toward invincibility, and each rejection a signal that they are moving towards something bigger, something worth fighting for, something that will require every ounce of courage, every drop of persistence, and every fragment of ingenuity they possess. Embracing failure as feedback also transforms fear. Fear of failure is one of the greatest chains holding people back from their potential. It paralyzes action, kills ambition, and robs people of opportunity. But when you begin to see failure as feedback, fear loses its power. Fear becomes an indicator of growth, a signal that you are stepping outside your comfort zone, a reminder that you are moving towards something important. Every time you fail, every time you stumble, every time you are rejected, you practice courage, you practice resilience, you practice perseverance, And over time, the fear that once held you hostage transforms into confidence, knowing that you have the ability to absorb setbacks, learn the lessons, and keep moving forward stronger than before. Feedback from failure is actionable. It tells you what worked, what didn't, and what to do next. It is the data you need to refine your approach, sharpen your skills, and improve your strategy. Without failure, you operate in the dark, guessing what works, repeating the same patterns and hoping for better results. Failure shines a light on the path forward. It gives you clarity. It gives you direction. It gives you the opportunity to adjust and pivot with precision so that your next attempt is smarter, more refined, and more likely to succeed. The people who make their own future do not see failure as a curse. They see it as a roadmap. They see it as a compass pointing them toward mastery, innovation, and achievement. Finally, embracing failure as feedback is essential for creativity, innovation, and growth. Every invention, every breakthrough, every great achievement has been preceded by countless failures. The people who change the world do not avoid mistakes. They experiment, they fail, they learn, they adjust, and they keep going. They understand that perfection is not a prerequisite for progress, that setbacks are part of the process, and that feedback from failure is a gift disguised as adversity. By embracing failure, you stop fearing it, you stop avoiding it, and you start using it as the fuel for relentless improvement. You begin to see every obstacle as a lesson, every rejection as insight, and every setback as a setup for a comeback. To make your own future, you must adopt this mindset. You must stop seeing failure as a stop sign and start seeing it as a guidepost. You must refuse to let mistakes define you and instead let them refine you. You must understand that failure is inevitable, necessary, and powerful if you are willing to learn, adjust, and persist. Every successful person, every innovator, every leader, every champion has embraced failure as feedback. And it is this willingness to fail, learn, and grow that has set them apart from the masses. Failure is not your enemy. It is your teacher, your guide, and your ally in the pursuit of greatness. The moment you begin to embrace it, the moment you start using every misstep as a lesson, is the moment your future begins to change. The moment you stop fearing failure and start learning from it is the moment you stop being a victim of life and start being the architect of your own destiny. Investing in yourself is the single most powerful decision you can make. Yet most people neglect it, squander it, or underestimate its importance. They look for shortcuts, for handouts, for instant results, for validation from others, while their greatest asset themselves remains underdeveloped, underfed, and undervalued. Invest in yourself ruthlessly means to stop waiting for permission, stop hoping for luck, stop relying on circumstances, and take complete control over your personal growth, your skills, your mindset, and your future. It means prioritizing your development above temporary comfort, above distractions, above approval, and above the expectations of people who are not committed to your vision. Every hour, every dollar, every hour, every ounce of effort you put into yourself compounds over time. Your knowledge, your discipline, your mental toughness, your physical health, your emotional intelligence, and your skills are not just resources. They are the capital you build with, the currency you trade with, and the leverage you wield in creating the life you want. When you invest ruthlessly in yourself, you create an unstoppable foundation. You become someone who cannot be replaced, someone whose value grows daily, and someone whose potential is undeniable. People who do not invest in themselves are dependent on others. They are at the mercy of circumstances, and they are constantly fighting an uphill battle. People who invest in themselves ruthlessly are independent, empowered, and prepared to claim their future. Investing in yourself requires sacrifice. It is not convenient. It is not comfortable. It is not easy. It demands time, effort, focus, and sometimes isolation from people, habits, or environments that do not serve your growth. Every hour you spend learning, training, practicing, and reflecting is an hour invested in your future. Every dollar you spend on education, skill building, and experiences that expand your mind is not an expense, it is capital. Every moment you dedicate to improving your mindset, building discipline, or strengthening your resilience is a deposit into the bank of your destiny. People who wait for the perfect time to invest in themselves are doomed to mediocrity because there is never a perfect time. Life will not pause to accommodate your comfort. Circumstances will not wait for you to feel ready. If you want to make your own future, you must begin now. and you must be relentless. You must pour yourself into your growth with the same ferocity, intensity, and commitment that you demand from the world. Investing in yourself also requires brutal honesty. You must confront your weaknesses, your limitations, and the areas where you are failing. You cannot improve what you refuse to see. You cannot grow what you deny exists. This means taking a long, unflinching look at your mindset, your habits, your skills, and your behaviors, and asking yourself the hard questions. Where am I falling short? What am I avoiding? What do I need to master to become unstoppable? You must identify. You must identify the gaps between who you are today and who you must become tomorrow, and then ruthlessly dedicate yourself to closing those gaps. There is no room for excuses, no room for denial, and no room for complacency. To invest in yourself ruthlessly means to accept that you are the problem and you are the solution. You are responsible for your growth, and the world will not hand it to you. Ruthless self-investment also requires a focus on multiple dimensions of your life. It is not only about financial growth. It is not only about career advancement, and it is not only about physical appearance. It is about building the complete package of yourself. It is mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and intellectual growth. Reading books, acquiring new skills, and expanding your knowledge are investments that pay dividends far beyond the moment. Physical discipline, exercise, and nutrition are investments that increase energy, longevity, and mental clarity. Emotional intelligence, resilience, and self-awareness are investments that improve relationships, decision-making, and leadership. Time spent reflecting, meditating, and visualizing is an investment that sharpens focus, strengthens intention, and empowers action. The person who invests ruthlessly in themselves becomes a force because they are strong, capable, and prepared in every aspect of life. They are able to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and thrive in ways that people who neglect themselves can only dream about. Investing in yourself is also about prioritizing growth over comfort. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Convenience is the enemy of excellence. Popularity is the enemy of authenticity. People who chase comfort will never reach their potential because they are constantly choosing ease over impact, pleasure over progress, and short-term satisfaction over long-term achievement. Ruthless investment in yourself demands that you embrace discomfort. It demands that you do what others refuse to do, learn what others refuse to learn, and endure what others refuse to endure. This may mean waking up early, staying up late, reading when others scroll, training when others rest, or thinking deeply when others remain distracted. Every uncomfortable choice is a deposit into the account of your future, a reinforcement of your discipline, and a step toward mastery. The world rewards those who prepare, those who build, and those who commit, not those who wait for luck, inspiration, or opportunity to arrive at their door. Ruthless investment in yourself also requires protecting your energy. You cannot grow if you allow negativity, distractions, or toxicity to dominate your environment. This means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. It means saying no to people, habits, or situations that drain your time, attention, or ambition. Every conversation, every relationship, every action should be evaluated through the lens of whether it serves your growth. Protecting your time and energy is as critical as building skills or acquiring knowledge, because wasted energy is wasted potential. The disciplined self-investor recognizes that the world will constantly pull at them with trivial distractions, meaningless drama, and time-wasting activities. They say no ruthlessly so that their yes has power, purpose, and focus. Investing in yourself ruthlessly also means taking calculated risks. Growth never happens inside the comfort zone. You will have to push beyond what is familiar, venture into what is unknown, and stretch yourself in ways that terrify you. Every risk you take in acquiring knowledge, building skill, or pursuing mastery is a seed planted for your future. People avoid risk because it is uncomfortable, because it threatens security, and because it forces them to confront failure. But when you invest in yourself ruthlessly, risk becomes opportunity. Every failure becomes feedback. Every challenge becomes a lesson. And every moment of discomfort becomes a catalyst for growth. Those who refuse to risk stagnate. while those who embrace risk and combine it with relentless self-investment become unstoppable. Finally, investing in yourself ruthlessly is about committing to lifelong growth. It is not a one-time effort or a phase you go through. It is a lifestyle. Your skills, your knowledge, your mindset, your discipline, and your resilience must continually evolve. The world does not stand still, and neither should you. Every day is an opportunity to improve, to refine, to expand, and to strengthen your ability to create your own future. Those who understand this build momentum that compounds over time, creating results far beyond what others can imagine. They do not wait for permission. They do not wait for luck. They act, they invest, they learn, they grow, they repeat. And in the end, they are the architects of their destiny because they refused to neglect the one thing that always guarantees leverage in life, themselves. If you want to make your own future, you must invest in yourself ruthlessly. You must pour your time, energy, focus, and resources into building every part of you that matters. You must embrace discomfort, take risks, protect your energy, and commit to lifelong growth. You must stop waiting for someone else to make you better, to train you, to guide you, or to hand you success. You are your own investment, your own project, and your own greatest asset. The moment you understand this, the moment you act on it relentlessly, is the moment you act on it relentlessly, is the moment you stop being a spectator and start being the builder, the innovator, the master, and the unstoppable creator of your own future. Act now, not later, is more than advice. It is a call to arms. Most people live their lives waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect conditions, waiting for motivation, waiting for someone else to give them permission, waiting for someone else to give them permission. They delay, procrastinate, and defer, thinking that opportunity will arrive like a train on schedule. But the truth is, life does not wait. Time does not pause. Circumstances do not align. For the hesitant, every second that passes while you wait is a second that passes while you wait, is a second that your future slips further from your grasp. Acting now means refusing to give away your life to hesitation, fear, or indecision. It means taking responsibility for your dreams in this exact moment, in this very second, instead of postponing the action that will define your destiny. Acting now is the difference between those who make their own future and those who merely dream about it. Opportunity, momentum, and success favor the bold, the decisive, the relentless, individuals who refuse to wait, who refuse to delay, and who refuse to allow fear, doubt, or convenience to dictate their actions. Delayed action is seductive because it feels safe. It allows you to dream without risk, to hope without effort, and to plan without consequence. But this safety is an illusion, a trap, and a thief. Every day you postpone action, you are falling behind. Every day you wait for later is a day that someone else is outworking you, learning more, building more, and creating the life you could have had. Acting now requires urgency because time is finite and waiting is expensive. The person who delays is always on the edge of regret, constantly wondering what if while watching opportunities slip through their fingers. The person who acts immediately seizes momentum, builds confidence through action, and accumulates the results that compound into extraordinary outcomes. Action is the antidote to fear, doubt, and procrastination. Action transforms ideas into results, plans into achievements, and potential into reality. Without it, nothing changes. Without it, dreams remain illusions. Without it, your future is a shadow you chase but never reach. Acting now also means overcoming fear. Fear is a primary reason people delay, procrastinate, and avoid action. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, fear of making a mistake. It paralyzes, but action dissolves fear. The moment you step forward, the moment you move, even when your heart is pounding, the moment you do what others hesitate to do, fear begins to shrink. It is exposed for what it truly is, a signal that you are growing, a sign that you are moving towards something important, and a reminder that progress requires courage. Acting now is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite it. It is refusing to let fear dictate your life. It is proving to yours. It is proving to yours daily that your ambition, your vision, and your commitment are stronger than the doubts that try to hold you back. Action is also the most powerful form of learning. Waiting, overthinking, and planning endlessly are forms of inertia. They create the illusion of progress, but accomplish nothing. Real learning comes from doing. Real progress comes from experience. Every step you take, every attempt you make, every mistake you endure teaches you more than months of idle speculation ever could. Acting now accelerates your growth because it forces you to confront reality, adapt, and refine. You do not have to have a perfect plan, perfect timing, or perfect knowledge. You need commitment, courage, and movement. The person who acts immediately gains insight, clarity, and momentum. The person who waits gains nothing but regret, frustration, and lost time. Acting now also demonstrates respect for your own dreams and ambitions. Waiting sends a message to yourself and to the world that your goals are not urgent, that your future is negotiable, and that your vision can be deferred. Acting immediately sends a powerful message that you value your dreams, that you are committed to your growth, that you are willing to do what others will not. Every action compounds. Every step forward builds momentum. Every decision to act today instead of tomorrow accelerates your journey toward mastery, freedom, and success. Momentum is created by movement, and movement comes from action. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. The first step is always the most important, and it must be taken now. Acting now also requires decisiveness. Too many people confuse thinking with action, planning with doing, and caution with wisdom. And decision is the enemy of progress. The moment you key what must be done, the moment you see the path forward, the moment you identify the next step, you must act without hesitation. Delay erodes confidence, weakens resolve, and allows doubt to creep in. Decisive action reinforces self-trust, builds momentum, and propels you into a cycle of achievement. Those who act decisively consistently outperform those who wait for perfect conditions. The world rewards movement, not contemplation. It rewards those who respond to opportunity immediately, who solve problems aggressively, and who do not allow hesitation to rob them of their potential. Acting now also magnifies the impact of discipline and preparation. You can be the most disciplined, prepared, and strategic person alive, but if you fail to act, your preparation is wasted. Action is the bridge between preparation and results. Knowledge without implementation is meaningless. Skill without execution is irrelevant. Vision without action is fantasy. Acting now ensures that your preparation, your sacrifice, and your effort translate into tangible outcomes. It is the lever that turns potential into achievement, dreams into reality, and goals into milestones. Furthermore, acting now fosters courage, resilience, and confidence. Every action you take strengthens your ability to act again, even in the face of uncertainty, rejection, or failure. Action is evidence that you are capable, that you are committed, and that you are willing to endure discomfort for growth. Each time you act immediately, you reinforce your capacity to make decisions, take risks, excellence, and pursue excellence. The more you act, the more unstoppable you become, and the less fear, doubt, or hesitation can influence your trajectory. Finally, acting now is about refusing to live in the past or wait for the future. The present moment you wait is the moment you surrender control. The future is created by what you do today, not what you hope to do tomorrow, not what you regret from yesterday. Every second counts. Every choice matters. Every action compounds. Acting now is the recognition that time is the most valuable resource you have and the one resource that cannot be regained. The people who make their own future act with urgency, discipline, and relentless commitment because they understand that delaying action is a luxury they cannot afford. They move immediately, leverage momentum, learn through execution, and turn obstacles into opportunities. Acting now is the most aggressive, most effective, and most transformative habit you can develop. It is the action that converts intention into reality, effort into achievement, and vision into destiny. If you want to make your own future, you must act now. You must refuse to wait for inspiration, motivation, approval, or perfect conditions. You must take decisive steps, confront fear, learn through action, and leverage every moment to move closer to your goals. Your future is not created by waiting. It is created by waiting. It's created by relentless, fearless, immediate action. The moment you act now is the moment you stop being a dreamer and start being a dreamer. and start being a doer, the moment you stop being a spectator and start being the builder, and the moment you transform your life from possibility into unstoppable reality, the people who make their own future understand one undeniable truth. You are the average of the people, environments, and influences you allow into your life. Your growth, your mindset, and your potential are shaped far more by your surroundings than by fleeting motivation, talent, or even hard work alone. Surround yourself with comfort and you will stagnate. Surround yourself with growth and you will evolve, expand, and achieve levels of success that most people only dream of. Comfort is seductive because it feels easy, safe, and familiar. It whispers to you that everything is fine, that change is unnecessary, and that the effort you are unwilling to give is not worth it. Growth, on the other hand, is uncomfortable. It challenges you. It pushes you. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, and it demands more from you than you are willing to give in a moment. But comfort is the silent killer of dreams, while growth is the engine of destiny. To make your own future, you must ruthlessly choose growth over comfort every single day, in every interaction, in every environment, and in every decision. Surrounding yourself with growth begins with the people you choose to be around. The individuals you spend the most time with shape your mindset, influence your habits, and dictate the standards you hold yourself to. If you are constantly around people who are complacent, negative, or satisfied with mediocrity, their energy will infiltrate your life. Their excuses, fears, and limitations will suddenly become yours. They will encourage comfort, justify laziness, and normalize settling. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who are ambitious, disciplined, and committed to constant improvement, their energy becomes contagious. They challenge you, they hold you accountable, and they push you to expand beyond the limits you thought existed. They demand that you rise, that you evolve, and that you refuse to accept less than your potential. Growth-minded individuals do not let you stay stagnant. They do not let you settle, and they do not allow you to be anyone other than the best version of yourself. The people around are either anchors that hold you back or win in your sales. Choose wisely because your trajectory depends on it. Your environment is just as crucial as the people in it. The spaces where you live, work, and spend your time. Communicate what you value, what you accept, and what you tolerate. Surround yourself with clutter, distraction, and chaos, and your focus will be diluted. Surround yourself with energy, knowledge, and inspiration, and your mind will absorb it, expand, and adapt. Growth demands stimulation that challenges your intellect, nurtures your ambition, and exposes you to new ideas and perspectives. Comfort seeks stagnation, familiarity, and ease, which may feel pleasant in the moment, but will erode your potential over time. To make your own future, you must deliberately design an environment that accelerates your growth, supports your vision, and keeps you moving toward excellence. This may mean reorganizing your space, eliminating distractions, or intentionally seeking out places and communities where excellence is the standard, not the exception. Surrounding yourself with growth also requires accountability. Growth thrives on pressure, challenge, and feedback. Comfort thrives on excuses, avoidance, and leniency. To be in a growth-oriented circle is to be constantly tested. Your ideas will be challenged. Your skills will be scrutinized. Your effort will be questioned. This is not a punishment. It is a privilege. Accountability forces you to elevate your standards, push past laziness, and confront the truth of your performance. It forces you to act with intention and refuse to settle for mediocrity. Without accountability, even the most ambitious people can drift into complacency. Without pressure, effort becomes optional. Surrounding yourself with gray, off-minded people ensures that you never stop evolving, learning, and improving because they will never let you accept excuses. Growth also comes from exposure to ideas, experiences, and challenges that make you uncomfortable. The moment you seek only comfort, you limit your perspective, restrict your thinking, and create boundaries for your potential. Growth-minded environments force you out of your comfort zone consistently. They expose you to people who think differently, who act differently, and who demand more from you than you are currently willing to give. They challenge your assumptions, test your resilience, and expand your capabilities. The more you embrace discomfort, the more your skill set, mindset, and confidence grow. Comfort feels safe, but it is a cage. Growth feels difficult, but it is freedom. To make your own future, you must step into discomfort repeatedly. And the people, spaces, and experiences you surround yourself with are the catalyst for this expansion. Surrounding yourself with growth also requires ruthless discernment. Not everyone who claims to be successful, motivated, or ambitious actually contributes to your growth. Some people may drain your energy, dilute your focus, or disguise mediocrity as wisdom. Some environments may feel inspirational, but encourage passive consumption rather than active transformation. To truly surround yourself with growth, you must identify who and what elevates your potential, who challenges you to be better, and what circumstances accelerate your evolution. You must cut away the noise, toxicity, and false comfort that slow your progress. Growth requires sacrifice. And sometimes the hardest sacrifice is removing the familiar, comfortable influences that have held you back for years. The long-term benefits of surrounding yourself with growth are undeniable. Your mindset sharpens, your habits improve, your resilience strengthens, your ambition ignites. You begin to see possibilities where others see obstacles. You take on challenges that would have terrified you before. You adopt the standards, behaviors, and mindset of people who operate at higher levels. Growth is contagious, and once you immerse yourself in it, stagnation becomes unacceptable. Every interaction, every experience, and every environment becomes a stepping stone towards your vision, accelerating your ability to make your own future. People who cling to comfort never achieve this.